Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We are starting up again. We've just forged a defensive pact with France with the intent of making sure that if the shogunate decides to get really angry about the fact that we failed in our petition, that we can make sure that we go ahead and make sure that we're able to stand fast against them. Because I am absolutely not going to switch back to traditionalism in any way, shape, or form. I might become a fake reform enjoyer. The only thing I can fake do is go to serfdom, but the shogunate are currently... So this will radicalize the intelligentsia and the trade unions. The intelligentsia are not large enough, I don't think, to actually genuinely pose a threat, and the trade unions are even smaller. So, I think... Well, the trade unions are physically larger, but less political power. I think that will... No, you know what? I'm not. If we have to fight, we have to fight. And it is what it is. That said, though, I think I'm going to tank taxes for a bit. Just to make sure that everyone stays happy. And... Oh, no, you know what? That's not the way I want to do this. I want to save myself a little bit of authority by knocking off a consumption tax. Wait, am I doing any... That was dumb. Okay, alright. So I am doing one decree, but that shouldn't be a problem. I think there's education investment at 3. That is very good. If I can keep my literacy level going up, which it should start to sharply increase now that we've got a 30% extra education access everywhere, I should be able to get a lot more innovation a lot faster. Okay, China is importing a lot of stuff from us, and that's very good. That will create huge markets. But I think another thing we're going to do is I'm going to throw... Let me see. I'm going to put one more railway in Kyushu. 7 already in Kyushu. Hold up. Is Kyushu having a railway employment problem? Nope. No, they're not. It's having a railway profitability problem, and that's mostly coming out of the... It's having a railway profitability problem, and that's mostly coming out of the government. That's why our finances are wrecked right now, because we're subsidizing all these railways, and the reason we're subsidizing all these railways is because all these mines are... None of these mines are using rail transport. But I don't want them to be using rail transport, because I want them to be... Oh, what a complicated situation. I don't want them to be using rail transport because I don't want them to be... I want to be employing more people in those laborer jobs. Because I'm chock full of labor right now. That said, how is the population overall in Kyushu? So that's 720k peasants. Is there anywhere we're getting short? We're getting short on Shikoku. So, let's go ahead and set the resource buildings in Shikoku to using rail transport. And that will help out the government in terms of keeping its balance sheets good to go for a bit now. Not that one. It's only the transport ones, because transport is absolutely dirt cheap in our market. Really, really cheap. Yeah, it's at the very bottom. Although it is increasing in price, and that's part of why we're paying so much in subsidies right now. So I just increased the market for transport by a bit, and subsidies were cut in half by that. So that's the power of the government's command over what gets built and where. Anyway, I think after the all this stuff, I think maybe we're going for another round of coal mines. And that's going to mean another level of railways in Kyushu. Put these at the top once again, just to make sure that we don't outrun our other stuff. Yeah, we'll put it in the middle of the shipyards. Alright, so the Shogunate are angry, but they're only at -9. So it looks like we're not going to have a war this year, which is good. I'm very pleased about that. We'll see. Well, they might try to do a coup. But for the moment, I think we're where we want to be. This number I'm not too pleased about. I know the subsidies aren't great, but let me see. Just take a second to look at our finances here. So, there's still a big old stack of goods for government buildings. Most of it's from admin, and most of it's on paper. So where is paper in our market? We've got a big trade route to China for paper. So we can definitely afford to increase the size of the paper industry. I'm going to prioritize areas that already have significant paper industry, because those are the areas that we're going to get the most out of them. Clippers are also expensive, but we're going to be improving that. And there's central banking. Wonderful. Our tax situation is very rough. So I'm going to have to stop suppressing the intelligentsia for a time, because I've got to get another consumption tax enacted. We'll do just tobacco for now, and that should get us so that we're not hemorrhaging cash anymore. Fruit would still be good, but not better than meat, which is our only other equivalent one. Services, of course, is generating us a huge amount of cash. Can't improve relations with Portugal anymore. That's fine. Anyway, our infamy should have degraded by now. So let's go ahead and grab Kutai. I'm going to mobilize all 3 generals, but that's not necessarily... Hold up. Okay, no, it's just a tiny front. We've got a really, really small front. The front is small. So we are improving relations with... Interesting. How much longer on our truce with Dainam? Not too long. So we'll see. We'll see how things go from there. We do have a fully functioning navy now. This line item from diplomatic pacts keeps going up, and it's going to continue going up as all of these economies grow. I'm just hoping that it's able to keep pace with our growing needs as a country. So this is kind of an historical situation that we're having now. In a lot of ways, Japan did consider itself during the Meiji era as kind of the Great Britain of the East. A country that was an island nation that was coming into its own, taking over and gaining control over other countries, which is definitely something that, and because Great Britain was kind of the ascendant power in the middle of the 19th century, that was kind of a natural point of comparison. So, that's part of why I'm kind of doing this. Not because it's historical necessarily, but that's I think my logic and why I think it makes sense for me to operate the way I'm currently operating. Can we sell glass anywhere? We can. Sell glass in China. Help our glass works to be profitable. And there's war with Kutai. 2 arms. We're advancing here. A lot of this area in southern Balungan is just here in central Borneo is impassable. So we'll see if their 2 battalions are able to hold off against our 21 just by virtue of the tight quarters, and it does not appear that they are. We're able to bring 12 battalions to bear, so that means this war is going to be ours. Barring some kind of extreme circumstance. So let's see. What else to do in the economy? Shipyards in Kyushu are coming online. And the railway as well. Very good. Actually, I think I'm gonna... So where am I in the national rankings? If I can increase... It's going to be a while before I can get above the Ottoman Empire. And it's going to be a lot before I'm below Egypt. So I'm actually going to go ahead and drop government wages again. And hopefully that's going to allow my financial situation to really improve. We have experienced success in the war place here. And that means we've pushed through that little pass and are now in a perfect position. I'm glad that this ended up having a little bit of frontage, because I had genuinely not checked, and it would have been a problem if I'd tried to attack a country that I didn't actually have a vassal state land border with. Let me just take a look at the non-negotiating participants. And in particular, I'm going to check if... So Cambodia is not in on this at the moment. So if I want to go to war with Dainam, I won't be able to necessarily use Cambodia as a landing zone. Unless I can convince them to get into the war. I am already in quite good relations with them. Oh, I should start improving relations with Balungan. Now that I've forcibly vassalized them, I should do the same with Kutai once this war is done. Because keeping good relations with one's vassals is of critical importance. Let me just make sure we're fully up at good relations with all of these countries we've seized control of over time. Yep, it's all looking good. Cool. A nice, harmonious sphere. Wonderful. Kutai is fully occupied. And relations with Russia are improving a little bit, which is good. Ooh. Peasant revolt happening in Prussia. That's interesting. One of the really interesting runs that I did with my friends at one point was I was playing as Japan, and I defunded my government in order to reduce my prestige and became a protectorate of France so that I could stay in their market and then just kind of enjoy that and get really strong kind of earlier on than I was supposed to be able to do. How long does the debuff for having opened Japan... Oh, it's a prestige penalty. Interesting. Got these playwrights, of course. And we should be basically there. Not quite, but getting there. They know which way the wind's blowing. Get vassalized. And that puts us in the black once again, which is wonderful. I'm really relying on this number to go up as we increase the overall effectiveness of our sphere. So what else do we need to increase? We've got to get food and explosives output up. We are exporting fertilizer now. So getting more chemical plants built is something we can continue to do. So we'll go ahead and put another level each in Shigoku, Chubu, and Kanto. And in the meantime, we're going to put another level of railways in Shigoku so that we can make sure that those... that we have somewhere to put the chemical plants. Can technically go to traditionalism. Going to appointed bureaucrats would have a lot of fans in my population. Can I form a government without this angry shogunate? It's looking like I cannot. Leastwise, not a legitimate one. Well, it is what it is. Anyway, these opinion malices are decaying, so I'm thinking we'll still be able to be in a happy situation. Once they get back above 0, we'll look into other options for changing up the government, including this poor laws situation, which, again, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. We did do it earlier, and it might be effective to do it again. I know that the shogunate will be mad about it, though. So I don't want to necessarily have that going on right now immediately. Let's see where we are in tech. Mechanized workshops. Excellent. So that will be done very soon. And what will that enable? That will get us sewing machines, mechanized looms. Okay, so more tool-intensive methods for our two main types of industrial buildings. That's sewing machines and mechanized workshops. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's going to necessitate a pretty large expansion in tooling, I suspect. Maybe not that much. Cool, very good. For textile mills, we're going to need more dyes. But we will be able to make that happen because we've got plenty of dyes. Plenty of dye plantations. Let's go for Shikoku. We'll do one each, and then we'll triple up in Shikoku. In Shigoku, rather. And that should provide us with everything we need. So, the private sector is building railways in Chubu. So, I think I'm going to need to do all of these myself. Okay, no, I got them under construction already. Yes, here we go. And what does that do to my tooling sector? It's going pretty well, but could definitely use a little bit of an expansion. But the private sector is handling that, so we'll leave that to happen. Art continues to be extremely expensive. Probably because our art method is still quite low. There's rifling. Alright, so that was what I was waiting for. So at this point, I'm going to upgrade the production methods of my arms industries. We're currently inputting iron, and we're going to be inputting steel, and that's going to increase the arms and artillery output. So we'll go ahead and do that. And that's going to bring those up to 20 and 25. Rifling completed. Wonderful. Modernizing the arsenal. The change in large-scale production from smoothbore muskets to rifles in the arms industries in Chubu has ushered in a new era for small arms production in the Japanese shogunate. Even from 1,000 yards, you can still take the shot. Forward artillery positions can be harassed. Bayonet charges stopped before they even commenced. The advantages are innumerable. Unless we develop sufficient manufacturing capabilities to produce these weapons, we're bound to face disaster on the battlefield. So our options are: the Nagoya arsenal shall be famed throughout the world, which gives migration traction and industry throughput in Chubu. And the Japanese shogunate shall be at the forefront of military innovation. I'm going to go with that second one because in any game where you're starting behind in tech, you're going to want to get extra progress on techs. So that's what I'm going to go for. It's going to give us 4.5 progress on repeaters. We've currently got fieldworks spreading to us, so I think at the end of this this mad dash towards improved fertilizers, I'm going to queue in Power of the Purse, and then we're going to finish out fieldworks, and then we're going to rush towards breech-loading artillery. And that's going to give us an actually substantial advantage, militarily speaking, over a lot of our neighbors. We're doing pretty well financially now. And it's kind of hard to tell why. We still have about 250,000 unemployed. But our average standard of living is actually up to 10, which is a surprise. But not an unwelcome one. Continuing to build up our industries here. Let's go ahead and we'll do another round of looks at our infrastructure. So we'll do +1 in Kyushu. We could definitely use another level in Shikoku. We're building one in Shigoku right now. Kansai, we're still okay. Could probably use another level, but not that soon. Yeah, looking good for all these other areas. Cool. It is time, I think, to build up some more universities, because as our literacy rate rises, our innovation cap is increasing as well. 145.7 uncapped? Are our universities producing that much? Maybe we don't actually need any more. Nah, we're at our cap, so maybe we don't. Maybe we... Oh, right, because we increased their production methods. So actually we're more than capable of producing the amount of innovation that we need to do what we want to do. Baking powder will give us a new method for our food industries that will... Oh my gosh, we're already in sweeteners. I don't know how I didn't notice this. We're going to do that. That's going to put a strain on our sugar supply, but it's going to really dramatically increase the number of groceries we produce, and that's going to be very good. Anyway, we can just go ahead and cover that by producing more... Oh, we cannot. We don't have any more sugar plantations. I'm going to go ahead and set the sulfur mines using nitro. Interesting. Thought we had kind of had that down. So let's make sure our sugar trade route to Austria is still productive. It actually is, so we're going to leave it in place. Are we? Food industries are still very productive. Alright, cool. So that should be just fine. Because our grocery output is absolutely bananas. Our grocery need is absolutely bananas. We're not actually exporting any of that to China, which I thought we were. Or I thought China was importing some from us. We'll also go ahead and build some more arts academies. I'm going to... Yeah, we're going to triple up in Kansai. And what that's going to do is that's going to hopefully put a little bit more art into the market. And maybe that will start increasing the standard of living of the upper strata. And that will keep them happy as we try to change society. Again, I said it before, and I'll say it again. This is not going to be necessarily a reform-focused run, but it is going to be a run where we try and make sure the country stays, grows and stays strong. Strong and healthy and powerful. And then maybe, you know, maybe we'll pick a fight with Maguindanao or Dainam or one of these other countries. Dainam is in a customs union with China, so China might intervene, but that might not matter. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I should... Am I? I'm not improving relations with Kutai yet. I should improve relations with Kutai so that we can all be together in a sphere. Let's see what's going on else in the world. USA has continued to expand westwards. They've not grabbed this area in Canada yet. Canada seems to have gotten free? No, they're still a Dominion. They're a Dominion with a really interesting flag. Mexico continues to be... United States has a treaty port in Mexico. That's really interesting. What about Brazil? I know historically there are ties between Brazil and Japan. So I might look towards having some kind of internationalist system over there. Ecuador appears to have made a puppet of the UK. That's interesting. Just looking around for places I could potentially make myself some vassals. I could try and vassalize the Marina Kingdom. I should have some interests I can declare now. Yeah, this is interesting. We'll try that. We'll try that. And we'll try... Let me see, what kind of armed forces does the Marina Kingdom have? Still early ones. Not much better in the conscription centers. I think Marina Kingdom might be a place we can target. They don't have allies. So I think that might be a way we can go here. But I don't want to wait for this. But what breech loading artillery will let me do is it will let me go buck wild with. Hold on, I can. There's baking powder. going to go ahead and enable that. It's going to consume a ton more sugar, but we're going to produce a ton more groceries. And I think it is at this point that this trade route will start to decrease until it's productive again. Should see a change again at the next turnover. Shift work is spreading. That's fun. Continues to go down. Sugar stays expensive, but the food industry has become profitable again. And now we're at the level point? Yes, now we're at the level point. Very good. Interesting. Very interesting. And our finances are back properly in hand, which is good. I'm going to continue to do that. So yeah, you know, maybe we'll try to grab overlordship over the Marina Kingdom. Maybe we'll try to grab overlordship over Gaza? We'll see. We'll see. There are numerous places we could go. With that having been said, though, that's going to be the end of this episode. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I will see you all on the other side.